Alright, so today me, Brother, and Oawis, we're going to be talking about fossil fuels, and in case anyone, well, hold on. Oawis, you do the previous name, so I'll just first one. Alright, so in case anyone doesn't know what fossil fuels are for some reason, fossil fuels are basically the organic materials that are buried under the earth that have been lasting in the earth's crust for millions of years. They are usually organic materials such as, say, dead animals and such that have decayed, and they convert into different substances such as oil, petroleum, and coal as the main ones. So fossil fuels have been like around since the Industrial Revolution, and is basically the reason why the Industrial Revolution started. So here's how you can look at it. Say humans are the father and fossil fuels are the mother. Humans get fossil fuels pregnant, and then the baby, Industrial Revolution. So the Industrial Revolution was the main starter for like what got the fossil fuels running regarding usage. So it was used in many applications such as locomotives, which propel trains, and etc. So our inquiry question is, if fossil fuels were to be extinct tomorrow, how would the world react? Since we use fossil fuels so much today, it's a pretty big question. So,
fossil fuels is like having a really down thing these years, and we can see the world is going into more energy sources such as wind power, solar energy, and nuclear power. Wind power, we can say it's the safe solution because it's growing by the day, and it supplies like a massive watts for the world. It's safe to be around. Like for example, you can have them like in many places in cities, not with the nuclear power, because that's an advantage for the people, and you can have houses next to it. Solar energy, the affordable alternative. By the day, you can see that solar power panels are going down. From 2001, it was you can say it was $6, and now it's going down to $3. Like it's affordable for the everyday like business. And here it's faster and efficient, so any person or a family can install it at the top of their house. Nuclear power, we can say it's the energy of the future. It is predicted to decrease within like 50 years, but now it's in its peak of energy. It's a great investment because Apple's profits of 70 billion, it is about the same of 80 billion, and it can be a near infinite source of clean energy, so we can bring down the population in this world.
So fossil fuels have quite a huge importance in our current world today, and the main reason for that is because it creates one of the generation's most critical resources, which is electricity. So electricity is important because it basically fuels everything we have nowadays. 80% of electricity even comes from fossil fuels themselves, which makes a bunch of electricity. And an example of some of the applications that are notable that electricity makes are laptops, electronic devices such as mobile cell phones, laptops, tablets, etc. Transports such as airplanes, cars, motorboats, etc. And then finally, even everyday appliances in a standard house use electricity, such as, say, a blender or a microwave. And what happens if we don't have the electricity? We don't have it, mainly because everything gets charged by electricity, and without the electricity, we won't have much. So another thing is, as mentioned before, it's the cause of the Industrial Revolution, and one of the main things is that it was powering locomotives, as mentioned before, as well as the fact important in the Industrial Revolution actually because of the fact that charcoal and firewood was low at the time.
Fossil fuels are used everywhere around us, in fact in everything, but using fossil fuels has its own advantages and disadvantages. The first advantage we see is like it produces huge amounts of electricity in one location. Like you can see there's so like a lot of electricity is being produced and just in one single location. Fossil fuels are also very cost effective. Many people wonder that drilling into the Earth's crust is like requires many people and lots of money, but because of the technology, it's getting cheaper day by day. And transportation of fossil fuels such as oil and gas is also getting cheaper due to making pipes, where pipes can be used to transport oil and gas to different cities and countries. One big disadvantage of fossil fuels is pollution. When burning coal and other fossil fuels, carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide is produced and other poisonous gases that affect the human health. Global warming also takes place because of pollution, mostly because of the carbon dioxide produced. And these toxics produced by burning coal affect the human health a lot. One very major disadvantage of fossil fuels is that they're non-renewable. Soon they will run out and we won't have much energy left. Coal and other main fossil fuels are limited, and we have to decrease the conservation of them so we can have them as a longer time, or else they will run out soon. One more big disadvantage of fossil fuels is impact on aquatic life. Most oil is like mostly transported through the sea, and when it's transporting, many oil spills happen, polluting the water and killing the aquatic life such as fish and sharks. Oil leaks and pollutes the water.
So, to answer the question that was referred to in the beginning, if fossil fuels were to be extinct tomorrow, how would the world react? Well, obviously, if fossil fuels were extinct tomorrow, that means they would not. But what would be the alternative to that? Judging by the amount of resources available to us, our group analyzed the majority of them, and we looked at three main factors: their pros, their cons, and their limitations. So we decided that biofuel was pretty much one of the most stable ones around, and for the main reason. Some people may debate that solar power might be a better alternative, but then there's the limitation that it only works in daytime, while other people debate that nuclear power is good because of the massive amounts of energy it creates, but it has huge risk. So the reason we chose biofuel is it's actually very identical to fossil fuels. Biofuel are mainly just the they're not aged whatsoever. They're similar to fossil fuels. They're the reason they create fossil fuels, but they come from many sources that are available to us. They're renewable, first of all, which means that they're not going to run out anytime soon, because they come from foods such as cornstarch, soybeans, etc. And they also come from organic material, which just keep getting produced every day. And it also produces a bunch of energy for many applications, and it has enough energy to be produced. One negative that we saw was that it would hamper food production, but we decided that the future is going to have a higher population, which means we're currently at 7 billion people. It's going to increase at some point in the future, so food production would increase alongside that. So we decided that wasn't as big of a limitation as it was, and we thought biofuel is the best alternative to fossil fuels. And we have works cited, in case anyone is bothered. And one more thing about biofuel is that it's renewable, in case I didn't mention that.
Okay, thank you very much.
That was all.
Any questions or any comments you'd like to address to the guys? What do you think of their presentational technique into their grade 8? Yes, group.
Enthusiasm. It's lacking enthusiasm. You guys gotta look like you care about biofuels. If you're not like enthusiastic about the product you're selling, how are we supposed to be enthusiastic?
It's not like we're doing this only for the math scheme.
Oh, that's a bad attitude, man.
Anyone else got any thoughts or points they'd like to make or criticisms or anything good you'd like to say about it?
You had good vocal presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they came across very well as very effective presenters. Okay, so I give this Mr. Campbell.